Welcome back, creative minds. Wei here. In the last video, I showed you how to upscale using the latest Flux ControlNet model developed by Jasper AI. The biggest advantage of this new ControlNet is that you can use with the existing SDXL ControlNet nodes and samplers. No need to install extra nodes. This means the workflow is simpler and easier to set up. Previously, I used the ControlNet upscaler model. Today, we are going to switch it up and use the ControlNet depth model. You'll find the download link for the model in the description below. Last month, I made a workflow that used the Flux model to change backgrounds for any subject, and it's already been downloaded 8,500 times. It has a relighting feature and works well, but it's super complex and can run slowly. So today, I'm going to show you a much simpler background changing workflow using the new Flux ControlNet depth model. Let's take a look at what it can do. This new workflow has only about 30 nodes and runs much faster. With my 3090 graphic card, it generates an image in around 1 minute. If you use HyperLoRa for 8-step image generation, it's even faster. I'll link the download for the workflow below. Just make sure to download the Flux ControlNet depth model before using it. To get it, go to Hugging Face and click the download button I've marked with this arrow. Once it's downloaded, rename the file to flux.1-dev-controlnet-depth.savetensors and move it to your ControlNet model folder config.ui/models/controlnet. If you see missing nodes, just install those as well. Now, let's jump into how this workflow is set up. This workflow is split into 3 main groups. The first group scales the image, removes the original background, and places it on a gray background. The second group generates a depth map from the gray background image and then use the Flux model and the ControlNet to create a new background. At this point, the woman in the picture is no longer exactly the same, but the general shape and outline remain. The third group removes this modified woman and pastes the original one onto the new background. And that's it, the background change is done. Now let's break down each group step by step. Starting with the first one, the image size node shows that our uploaded image is 2995 by 3994 pixels, way too big for the background we want. So it's going to be a nightmare for the graphic card. That's why we use the upscale image by node to scale it down. I set the scaling factor to 0.35, which brings the image to 1048 by 1398 pixels. Then I use an Anything Anywhere node here. The reason is that it makes it easier to pass images through the workflow without long, messy connections. Check out the image compare node. The lit up image B port is connected to our downsized image using the Anything Anywhere node. After resizing, the Inspire Night node removes the original background. This lets us place the subject on the gray background we are adding next. Make sure to adjust the threshold based on your image. Higher values will cut out more pixels. This node also creates a mask, which we are used to combine the image with a gray background using the Image Composite Mask node. Now the gray background is made with the Image Blank node. You'll see that the RGB values for red, green, and blue are all set to 128. The Image Composite Mask node then takes the mask from Inspire Night. But there's a catch. The image usually ends up with the white border and rough edges. To fix this, the Mask Grow Fast node is used. Setting a negative grow value removes the white edges, and tweaking the blur value smooths out the transition. Alright, that's the first group done. Let's move to the second group. In this part, I'm using the FP8 version of the Flux model along with the clip file. If you are low on VRAM, switch to the GGUF node and the GGUF clip file. Now, about writing a prompt. Make sure the lighting conditions in your description match the lighting in your original image. For example, if your uploaded image has soft sunset lighting and use a prompt with harsh midday light, the background will look off. If you need more tips on using prompts with the Flux model, check out my previous video. I'll link it below. One thing to keep in mind, the backgrounds generated by Flux tend to be a little blurry. If you want sharper results, you can use the LoRa, which are covered in the same video. Now to generate a depth map, I used the AIO-AUX preprocessor on a gray background image of the woman. This depth map guides the ControlNet to keep the basic outline of our subject in the final image. Even though the woman in the generated image will look a bit different, the general shape will be the same. Next, we'll swap her out for the original. Let's move on to the third group. The key note here is Big Llama Remover. I actually got this idea from one of your comments, so keep those suggestions coming. The Big Llama Remover takes out the woman in the second group's image. Then, we paste the original woman onto the new background using the Image Composite Mask node. This makes the edges blend more naturally. Let's zoom in to see the result. Now you might be wondering, why not just cover the new woman with the original from the start? Well, ControlNet isn't 100% precise yet, so their outlines don't always match. The Big Llama Remover node needs a mask to know what to erase, so we use another InspireNet node to create this mask, setting the threshold value lower to ensure it wipes out the subject completely. That's it for this workflow. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm already working on an upgraded version with even more advanced features. If you don't want to miss out, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next